What happens when timeless luxury meets one of the UAE's most ambitious islands? I'm Sunny, and today we're going to take an inside look at what might be one of the most refined coastal addresses in the UAE, Fairmont Residences, Al Marjan Island. If you're drawn to refined elegance, five-star hospitality and legacy level living, then this could be worth seeing. It's a legacy reimagined by the sea. Let's start with the iconic brand itself. You'd be hard-pressed to find a hospitality brand with as much history as the Fairmont. Founded in the late 1800s with Canada's Grand Railway hotels, the true beginning really came in 1907 with the opening of the San Francisco Fairmont, which really redefined coastal elegance. Since then, it's obviously hosted royalty, politicians, celebrities, and Hollywood legends. And my personal favorite is Fairmont Springs, Banff. We also have Hotel Vancouver and Fairmont Peace Hotel in Shanghai. And now these hotels are not just hotels, they're cultural landmarks. So for example, when people go to New York, they do want to see the Plaza. When they go to Banff, much of the journey is not only seeing the stunning scenery, the lakes and the mountains, it's also visiting the Fairmont Hotel, whether you're lucky enough to stay there or you simply going for lunch or dinner. And who doesn't want to go to the Savoy for afternoon tea? It's pretty much one of those things that all tourists want to do when they go to London. I myself, having lived most of my life in London, would often go to the Savoy for afternoon tea just to escape the hustle and bustle of London life. So Fairmont hotels have quietly witnessed history, from having the British King and Queen at the opening of Hotel Vancouver to hosting the likes of Marilyn Monroe and Winston Churchill. There was even the famous theft of the portrait of Winston Churchill known as the Roaring Lion from Fairmont Chateau Laurier. Fun fact, that was the same image of him that was on the £5 note. So now you understand the rich history of the Fairmont. In more recent years, they've turned that DNA into branded residences, which is one of the fastest growing market segments in the UAE. It's not just choosing places and locations for natural beauty, it's about global cachet. So of course we have the Fairmont on the Palm in Dubai, in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, and then we have a presence in Mexico, Canada, Colombia, Istanbul, and the Philippines, to name but a few. And now, more lately, we have the Ras Al Khaimah edition on Al Marjan Island. The developer behind this project is Ardee Developers, which is part of Ardee Group. It's a seasoned pro in the world of real estate with over 40 years experience building large-scale communities in India. Now, in terms of what we've got here, they've entered the UAE with a real bang, because this project is not just a development, it's the largest master plan community on Al Marjan Island, spanning 2.5 million square feet. Now, we only have to look at master plan communities in the past to see that they leverage the strongest returns. For example, Dubai Hills, Blue Waters, and Arabian Ranches, to name but a few. So it's going to be a fully integrated coastal ecosystem. Obviously, we're going to have the Fairmont Hotel, 500 residences, townhouses and sea villas. I think there's only 19 townhouses and 4 sea villas. We're going to have the serviced apartments, as you would expect, and we're going to have that luxury retail, wellness zones, entertainment and green parks. As I mentioned, the location is Al Marjan, which is very much RAC's crown jewel at the moment. It offers 4 distinct coral-shaped islands, and it stretches out 7.8 kilometers into the Arabian Gulf and offers 23 kilometers of coastline. We're quite limited on coastline in the UAE, so this is a nice addition. In terms of appreciation, we saw 20% appreciation on Al Marjan Island itself as an average, which is obviously beating some of the areas in Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So not all of Al Marjan is created equal. As I mentioned, there's 4 distinct coral-shaped islands, and each one really has its own personality and potential. When we look at Breeze Island, this is at the arrival point here, and it's home to hotels like the Doubletree and Rixos. It offers accessible waterfront living with short-term rental appeal. So this is like a nice entry-level investment. Then we have Treasure Island, a calm community driven by boutique residential developments, offering a quieter lifestyle and long-term potential. Then we have Dreamer Island, which is very much in its future phase. This is where we're going to have the entertainment hub, so the restaurants and nightclubs and the resort-style experiences. Then we have View Island, which is the tip of the island, and it's considered to be the most premium. It's where we will have the Wynn Casino, it's where the address will be, and it's where the Fairmont residence is situated. It will have uninterrupted sea views. In terms of its neighbour, the address, in the UAE, this is a well-known brand, but globally, I think Fairmont carries a lot more weight, especially if you're looking to attract the American and the Canadian tourists. So all in all, Al Marjan is a standout for fast rental returns and long-term capital appreciation, depending on your strategy and your location. Now let's look at the residences themselves. So actually, when I first saw the brochure, I was a little bit overwhelmed with the huge scale of this development here, and I felt that it didn't look the most aesthetically pleasing, but then again, Fairmont are used to building entirely big places and making them wonderful, so I hope they follow through on that. But in terms of the offering, we have 1 to 3 bedroom apartments, we have a 3-bedroom townhouses, and only 4 sea-facing villas. So again, the interiors are very classic, elegant, refined. They're not too modern. They still offer that kind of like traditional Fairmont style aesthetic with all of those details that you would expect from more of an opulent 5-star offering. So in terms of the amenities, we'd have everything that you would expect from 5-star hospitality. We have the sky pool with that horizon view, private cinema, games room, residences lounge, direct beach access, which is probably a really important point because not everywhere on Al Marjan Island will have that direct beach access. And when I'm thinking short-term rentals, I know that if I'm going away, I want to pick somewhere that has beach access. I don't want to have to walk to the beach. I want to be at the beach. And then we have the Fairmont Concierge, obviously, famous for their service, housekeeping, in-residence chefs, childcare, and what's becoming more and more popular in the UAE right now is dog wash stations. So as a homeowner, you also get a part of the Accor ownership program with diamond status upgrade. So you get that VIP booking, exclusive travel perks across over 5,600 hotels worldwide. Now let's take a look at the payment plan and the prices. What we do know is the payment plan will be 60-40. Let's look at how that's broken down. So we have 5% on booking, then the first installment within 30 days of booking, which is 15%, then 5% the second installment, which is in 6 months from booking. Then we have the third installment, which is 12 months from booking, and that's 5%. A further 10% on the fourth installment, which is broken down to be 40% of the construction completed. And then the fifth installment, which will be 65% of the construction completed, which is another 10%. And then the final 10% on the sixth installment, which is 85% of the construction complete. And then, of course, the final installment of 40%, which is expected for Q4 28. That's when we're looking at the completion of this project. In terms of the prices, I can give you an idea of what we're looking at in the range of 2.5 to 3.1 million for a rear facing 1-bedroom, but for a sea facing 1-bedroom in the range of 2.95 to 3.7 million. For the sea view 2-bed, we're going to look at the range of 4.4 to 6 million. And then for the 2-bedroom with study, again with that sea view, in the range of 5.1 to 6.3 million. So we have 3-bedroom plus maid with a sea view, and that's going to be in the range of 6.5 to 7.5 million. So as I mentioned, we'll have a small offering of townhouses, 19. They will be 3-bedroom plus maids. They're expected to be around 3,000 square feet, and the price will be 9.5 to 11.5 million. And then the sea villas, we only have 4 of those. I'm sure they'll be spectacular. They are looking at around 60 million plus. So whether you're looking for a second home or a legacy level investment, the Fairmont Residences Al Marjan Island offers you coastal calm, global heritage, and future value in one rare location. So if you've enjoyed watching this video and you would like to know any more about the Fairmont Residences or any other UAE investments, then drop me a message. My name is Sunny and I'll answer you personally. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for future UAE investment opportunities.
Learn